Talk about all of this. Donald Trump's historic win. We want to bring in the Republican Party's chief strategist and communications director, Sean Spicer. Sean, great to have you here. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good morning.
At what point last night did your jaw hit the ground?
I honestly can't remember.
What was your night like?
Because you were drinking all night and were in a haze.
It probably hit multiple times. You saw states like North Carolina, Ohio come through, and piece by piece we knew that there was a wave happening.
So when North Carolina went his way and Florida went his way, you thought something's happening here.
Yeah, it was state by state, and just watching the reaction on people's faces and knowing that there was more to come, watching some of the Senate races and House races that had predicted that we wouldn't keep, and knowing that there was something happening in this country.
So now, here is the situation / the predicament. Okay, ordinarily, in a victory speech, an acceptance speech, that man or woman comes out, really only man in the case of presidency, and says, hey, thank you, thanks to you, thanks to them, and here's what we're going to do. You remember what I campaigned on? Not this morning. And that was refreshing to many people, especially those on the outside of this election, which was Trump came out, he was conciliatory, he was generous, he was humble,
right.
And he didn't mention rigged, he didn't mention wall, he didn't mention Muslims, he didn't mention what's going to happen. But here's the predicament of it. Now, we're in a position of having to hold him to account for what he promised to do in the election, which were none of those things. The wall, the Muslims, keeping them out, all of those different things, prosecuting Clinton, who he was complimentary to. Are those things not going to happen now?
We're 3 hours after.
But it matters, especially
I'm not saying I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I'm just saying let us savor the victory a little bit. He's going to put a plan together. We've got 3 months before the inauguration. He's going to lay out a plan. He's going to get his team in place. But there's a lot of pieces that have to happen. So today he's going to start having those meetings, talking about the people that are going to be part of a Trump presidency, talking about how to move those policies forward. But I think give us 24, 48 hours to enjoy the victory, not only at the top of the ticket, but all the way down. And then put those people and pieces together that allow this agenda of change to move forward.
Sean, you've been on our show a lot, and you have been an energetic, vocal supporter of what you said was going to be the really sophisticated ground game that the RNC was going to bring. You did that. But today you seem rather shell-shocked and subdued.
We're a little tired.
Yeah, he hasn't slept in like 30 hours.
But in other words, you're surprised.
Look, you spend 4 years working for something, sleepless nights. Not just me, but I mean, you look at Donald Trump, rally after rally, and he didn't leave anything on the field. Both him and Governor Pence, you know, they went up to the 11th hour. And there's a lot of staff and there's a lot of volunteers that knocked on doors, that made phone calls because they believed in bringing change to Washington, D.C. and making people's lives better. And I think that when you realize that you did it, you know, you want to have a little bit of you want to take some time and have a breath. But this is an amazing victory, not just for the people who made it happen, but hopefully for every American that's out there that has felt as though that they've had a government that hasn't listened to them, or they've felt that the policies aren't helping them move forward. So hopefully this isn't just a victory for everyone that made phone calls and knocked on doors and voted for Donald Trump, but frankly for every American that hopes that we can be a better country and move forward.
Right, but and again, this isn't born of cynicism. This is born of being constructive, because now it's the work of every different aspect of society to figure out how you move forward from here. This isn't the usual election because of that last part of what you just said, which is everybody needs to come together.
Right.
That's not how Donald Trump won it. He won by saying, we are divided. We're divided for bad reason. It is rigged. People are out to get you and hurt you, and I will stop them. So now you have people in this country who are afraid of this result, and it's his job and your job by extension to give them comfort.
And I hope that over the next 3 months that we show them that this is going to be an administration that Donald Trump and Mike Pence want to work for every American, make this country better, instill policies that lift up the American workers, the American business people, the American family, and the American individual, and make this country better for everybody. And I hope, look, you look at the exit polls. It was across demographics. I think people were ready for change, and I think you've got to earn that change. You've got to earn that trust, rather. And I frankly hope that over the next 4 years that trust is earned, and that we have policies and solutions that everyone in America can feel proud of.
How much credit do you take for the ground game versus that it was just a change election and there was momentum?
Look, Donald Trump was the man, the message, and the movement. And then I think Reince Priebus and the RNC invested $175 million in a data operation, another $100 in the ground. And I think that you've got to combine those two things and say, we know who to go after to talk about that message. We can bring them over the top with the ground game. But it's a combination of those two. And when you see the election that occurred last night, not at the top of the ticket, but again, maintaining the Senate, maintaining the House, picking up seats, flipping the Kentucky Speaker, the Kentucky House that hasn't happened in 100 years.
How
and defeating
important
the
is
Speaker.
all of that in creating peace within the party going forward? Like, how much of it was taken
Winning
care of?
solves a lot of
right?
problems, Chris.
Right? Last night, like, the ability for Trump to turn around and say, look, we weren't together, but now we are, and a lot of you won because of me. It's over.
Right. And I think when you look at that win, 289 electoral votes.
Maybe more.
Right. Maintaining the House, maintaining the Senate, flipping a lot down ballot, real down ballot, city councils and state legislative races. I think that winning solves a lot of problems. And I think, again, it's not just that, but governing. And hopefully that we can enact policies and solutions that make everyone proud to be an American, that make them want to be a Republican, hopefully.
Sean Spicer, great to see you. Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations. Enjoy your moment.